Hello, fellow duelists and collectors. Today I'm going to be showing you my Blue Eyes deck profile. Now, I do not have all these cards in the physical because they cost money, which I do not have, or at least to spend on Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So, I'm going to show you it with some proxies. I hope that's okay with you, but I'll show you my Blue Eyes deck profile. And then I'll show you what the proxies are substitutes for. So, first, you have the 3 Blue Eyes, pretty standard in the deck. I mean, you really can't have a Blue Eyes deck without them. And if you like the OG artwork, that's what I'm using. I like them. Then you'd have 3 alternative Blue Eyes. So I got one of them out of a pack. 2 of them are proxies because honestly, I just don't have $40 to drop on these cards. So yeah, hopefully the price drops soon. Then we have a Red Eyes Darkness Metal, which pretty darn good in all dragon decks. Then you have 3 Blue Eyes Solid Dragon, which is super new and it's super good, honestly. I haven't bought any of the new packs. I don't plan on buying them anytime soon or anything like that. But if this card comes out and the price drops, I'll definitely consider getting it for the deck because it's amazing for Blue Eyes, honestly. And it deserves all the hype it's been getting lately. Then you have 2 Dragon Spirit of White, which is actually said to be the predecessor card to the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. So that's interestingly a new fact. But definitely a good card to have. And its name's treated as Blue Eyes while in the grave or on the field, so that's awesome. 2 Honest, you want that attack boost since like every monster in this deck is a light monster, so super good. Honestly, but I don't see everyone running them, so I don't know if it's as good as I am, portraying it to be. Anyway, 3 Whitestone of Legend, or the Ancients, sorry. Whitestone of Ancients, which is better than Legend. 1 Master with the Eyes of Blue. 1 Whitestone of Legend, there we go. 1 Sage. I'm pretty sure you would want to run more than 1 Sage. I think you'd actually want 2. But it really comes down to whatever your preference is. I didn't have the money to buy more, so I'm pretty much stuck with 1 now. But it's good. It's definitely good to have or more than 1. Anyway, 2 Effect Veiler, which are replacing the other Sage or potential other cards I could be using. Then we have 3 Trade-In, which are pretty essential. There's a lot of 8 stars in this deck, so it's super good. You have 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. I don't have this card, and it's relatively expensive, but it's like the Monster Reborn and Protection of the Dragon, the Blue Eyes deck, so I would recommend having 3. 3 Melody to just boost your, deck thinning and get cards to your hand quick, which is awesome. And getting cards in the grave. It helps you all around. Definitely a really good card. 2 MSTs because I do not have Twin Twister, and also it's still really a good card, and I would recommend using it. You gotta have that protection. 1 Cards of Consonance, even though the chance doesn't arise too often to use it. 1 Dragon Shrine, which is, like a Foolish Burial. 1 Silver's Cry, which is like a Monster Reborn for normal monsters. 1 Summoner's Art, which actually I think could be really good, especially because, if you have Blue Eyes in your hand, it's like just boom. It brings it to your hand. Sorry about that. Yeah, it adds a Blue Eyes from your deck to your hand, so that thins the deck and is super useful for like Blue Eyes Alternative or whatever situation you might be in, so it can be a really good card to have. Or especially to top deck. Well, not as much top deck. Never mind about that. Sorry. Soul Charge, which is super standard, pay 1,000 for each monster you bring back from the grave, which is super awesome. Forbidden Chalice, which is, a double-edged sword, which can help you or hurt your opponent, or vice versa, depending on the situation. 2 Phoenix Moon Windblast, because it's honestly just like a great card to return a card from your opponent's field to the top of their deck that almost sets them back a turn, depending on the play that you just made, or the timing you use it. Solemn Strike, which everyone knows is pretty great. And then we'll move on to the extra deck. So for the Ixies monsters, we have Dyson Sphere. Sorry. Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon with 4,000 attack, which is awesome. Gimmick Puppet of Leo, actually just in case you're in a stalemate, which I actually almost beat one of my friends with this. because he had like a stalemate type of deck. It was actually an Exodia deck, and we both like got to the point where we were about to win the duel, and he only needed one piece left, and I only needed one counter left, but he ended up winning, so it was pretty savage. But it was good. And then we have a Gimmick Puppet of Strings, and that's it for the Ixies monsters. Put those over there. For the Synchros, we have a Trident Dragion. We have 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragons, 2 Azure Eyes, and then 1 Cloud Castle. And since these are like all 9s, they are really good for summoning Dyson Sphere, which is pretty awesome. Especially if you use like Cloud Castle, which brings back another level 9 from the grave, so definitely a good play with that stuff. And then I don't have Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon, but it's amazing. So that's one of the cards I really want to get soon, along with, you know, the other alternative Blue Eyes and Solid Dragons. But anyway, it's definitely a really good card to have, and I highly recommend having it. Now I will show you guys the cards that were proxies if you want to continue watching this video. If not, feel free to click out and go home. But anyway, so Twin Burst was a proxy for another Prime Photon. Just having like that devastating attack power and ability is awesome. Right, okay, so Return of the Dragon Lords. I think they might have been different substitutes each, so. One of them was Card of Consonance. Monster Reborn, since it is already a Monster Reborn card, so that's not a big deal. And then Grand Horn of Heaven. Okay. Then we have the Blue Eyes Solid Dragons. Which was a Dragon Spirit of White. Ah yes, and the ever-acclaimed Montage Dragon, which does super well in a Blue Eyes deck if you don't have other cards like the Blue Eyes Solids or alternatives. Like, there's a lot of high-level monsters in this deck, and it works for trade-in, but there's a lot of high-level monsters that are just awesome to use with that. Okay, and then so for the Blue Eyes alternatives, we have 1 Priestess, which she's okay. She's not great, but she's not bad per se. Sorry, one sec. And then a Malefic Blue Eyes. Actually, don't remember if I used... Malefic Blue Eyes was actually during when I had a field spell in here. I guess it's been so long since I substituted it that I no longer do. So you can't really use Malefic Blue Eyes. So I would definitely recommend switching that out because it's not going to help you at all. But anyway, that's going to do it for this deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like. And if you want to see more like this, please subscribe. I will be posting more random videos, but I've pretty much run out of decks. So now I'm on the reliance of friends, or I will make different decks to use. Also, I hope you guys liked that I put like the mat sort of over so you can see more of Blue Eyes for this video. And thank you again. Bye-bye.